Welcome back, fellow Reaper users. I'm Daniel Abendroth. This is Reaper for Podcasting, and I thought I'd change it up a little bit today and show you my Reaper setup because it's a little bit more unique than what I think most people go with, and it fits my needs. And what the key selling point for me is the portability. I can essentially work from any PC and not miss out on anything and not miss a beat. So I'm going to show you how I set mine up, and hopefully it inspires you. And if you do something different or have something special, please let us all know, and maybe we can learn something from you. Be looking forward to that. So let's go ahead and get right into it. I use Windows 10. This is this PC folder section, whatever. So I keep everything I do on a 2 terabyte external hard drive. And I mean all my work files, my Reaper installation, my business, like everything to do with my business is all on this external hard drive. Don't worry, I do protect myself. I'll get into that in a little bit, but everything is backed up. I do have weekly backups with daily continuous, and we'll get into that. So I put everything on this My Passport Drive F. So if we go in here, you'll see a few folders. One, the raw folder, which is irrelevant. That's just some client files that I don't want on my Dropbox because they're large files and they're just temporary. So rather than clogging up my Dropbox, I just leave them here outside Dropbox. Reaper 2 is my Reaper installation that I use for demonstrations. So it's an easy way to keep a fresh installation of Reaper. So that way it's not clogged in with all my settings, and I can show you what Reaper is from the beginning. In later videos, I'll probably use my main installation, but for now, you'll be seeing a brand new installation. This Waves folder has my Waves licenses and backups of my Waves plugins. Waves is really tricky in how they do plugins. They install the plugins on your system. You have to follow their rules. So I'll get into why I do this later on. It'll make sense later. And then lastly, I have an installation of Wave Central with the install file, as well as the latest version of Reaper. And mainly I do this so I can have a fresh install whenever I need to create a new video that needs a fresh install. The way I'm able to get Reaper to this folder here on an external hard drive is whenever you go to install Reaper, you have all this. On this right here, just click Portable Install, and then you can create a portable installation. I put mine on Drive F, call it Reaper 3. Go ahead and install that. We're not going to run it. So now I have a brand new Reaper installation, and this is all self-contained. So I can move this onto my computer, onto another hard drive, and it'll run perfectly. So I don't need to put it into Windows program files or whatever it is for Mac. But we don't need that, so we're going to delete that. So under shared, I did shared because I work with my wife and we share a lot of files. So I was trying to make an easy way that she could easily access all my files when she needs it through Windows file sharing integrated thing. It didn't work out. But I didn't want to move everything else because Dropbox has to reset and it takes forever. So if you have any suggestions about how I can give access to another computer on my network, or how to set up a network drive or whatever, if you have any resources, I would love to hear them. At a loss, I kind of gave up on the idea. But regardless, let's move on. Inside the shared folder, I have my Dropbox folder. It's not syncing right now, so you don't have all the icons, but this is everything synced with Dropbox. So I work out of my Dropbox folder. And the reason I do this is essentially I have a continuous backup system. So as I'm working, if I save a file and the Reaper project updates, if I bring new files into the Reaper project, Dropbox keeps it synced up. So real case scenario, a couple years ago, one of my hard drives got ruined because some water fell onto it, completely fried the hard drive. Everything was lost, except the fact that I kept it synced with Dropbox. So all I had to do was go buy a new hard drive and just let Dropbox download everything. And I had all of my work files. Everything was saved. So it's kind of my 2-factor backup. So I have weekly backups through a real kind of backup program. And I have it backed up through Dropbox, so it's constantly backed up. So I'm never, I don't have to fear losing any files because Dropbox keeps their 2 week window, or whatever. So this is where I keep all my business files. Like my podcast folder has the individual folders for all my clients. I don't want to show you, I'm not going to show you because I want to keep all that private, but all of my client files are in that folder. I have files for my wife and for my VA, business files, my sound effects. And what's really cool about this is keeping everything in Dropbox is I work with my wife on a lot of files, so I can easily just give her access to what she needs and not have to like send her the files or anything because it's in her Dropbox, and then she can access it whenever she needs to, along with the perpetual backup. I also have my main installation of Reaper. So again, I did the portable install and installed it inside my Dropbox folder. So if I go in here, you'll see the typical Reaper installation files that you'd get with any other portable installation. What's unique about mine is I created a folder called My Plugins. So if we go in here, you have all of the plugins that I use. What's really great about this is that makes my installation completely portable. So all I have to do is take my hard drive and I can take, my laptop that my wife uses and take it to a coffee shop, and everything is contained inside the hard drive. So I can pick up my work exactly where I left off. It has my Reaper installation, so I don't have to worry about my settings being different. It has all of my project files, so everything's right there for me. So I can go to literally any PC in the world and pick up work like nothing ever happened. Obviously, we're right now when I'm recording this, we're in COVID time, so that's not really a possibility. But once we're done with the pandemic, 2 years ago, me and my wife took a vacation to Portland. It was a 2 week long trip that was semi vacation, semi work. So in the mornings, I had my laptop, I had my hard drive. I was able to get the work done I needed and then spend the rest of the day exploring the city. So having this portable installation is so convenient if you like to travel or if you like to work in coffee shops or work anywhere. It can go with you if you don't use a laptop. The only issue I have with this portability system is Waves. So if you remember, I have this separate Waves folder, and that's because Waves wants the plugins. They install the plugins where they want to, and it's inside, for Windows, it's inside the project files folder on your main hard drive. So that really limits portability because before what I'd have to do, I wouldn't be able to use my Waves plugins, which was inconvenient. I have other plugins that do the same thing, but I do like my Waves plugins. So that was annoying. So through some experimenting, I found that I can have my Waves plugins on my main hard drive inside my project files folder and inside my plugins folder on my external hard drive, and that would work. Obviously, that doesn't really work with portability. What I discovered is that I keep a backup of that Waves folder that's on the main hard drive. So all I have to do is whenever I take it to a new computer, copy this folder into the programs files, and then Reaper can detect them and use them just fine. And then once I'm done with that computer, I can just delete that folder and it's like I never left. I actually got that idea from Michael Jerry. I brought this issue up in the Reaper for Podcasting Facebook group, and this is a suggestion that he recommended, and it actually works out pretty well. A little inconvenient because I had to copy this over, but not really that big of a deal. I also keep this ext for the Wave Central, so that way, if that doesn't work, I can still install it on any computer and then pick it up. So really convenient. So let me show you how the My Plugins folder works. So I'm going to open up my main installation of Reaper. So I'm going to go into the VST plugin settings. So just go to Options, Preferences, and then down here under Plugins VST, you have everywhere that Reaper will look for plugins. I have mine set so that way it only looks in the My Plugins folder that I created, that where I put all of my third-party plugins in. So it can only find them there. And since Waves also wants it in the programs file, there is a copy of that folder there. And so because they're in both places, it works perfectly. And then I also, through Waves Central, installed my licenses on my external hard drive. So that way, as long as the plugins are present on another computer, I have my license and I can use them without running into any issues with the Waves plugins. So that's how I set up my Reaper. It works for me. I love being able to work from any computer. Obviously, with the COVID, it's not as useful right now. But once we're past this, I'll be able to travel and work from anywhere without being held up because files aren't there or my Reaper installation. And because everything is synced through Dropbox, I don't have to worry about my hard drive malfunctioning and breaking or whatever. I can know that all of my settings and everything will be saved. So I'd love to hear if you have a unique workflow or if you've changed up the way that you have Reaper working on your computer. Please leave a comment down below and I'd love to hear what you've done. And if you haven't already, I highly encourage you to join us over on Facebook. We have a Facebook group called Reaper for Podcasting, just like this channel, where Reaper users come together and share knowledge and help each other out. So if you're looking for a community of fellow podcast editors that use Reaper, please join us. I'll put a link in the description down below, and I will see you in the next video. Take care.